is going on, everyone? All my fellow winter nerds. Co-host Mike Val here with
Steven Dobbins.
welcome to our new variant video series.
Ooh, I like it.
Variant video series.
Oh.
We are here to talk about Loki. Finally, it's about time, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So the idea with this, guys, is that Mike and I work. So this is not always going to be easy for us. Yeah. So we're gonna do Loki, as Mike just geniusly came up with as a variant. We're gonna do Zoom calls. I'm actually in John, the senior nerd's house, because I'm dog watching. They're all passed out snoring right now. You can actually see them.
That's great.
And we get to have a longer conversation, like as if it was our podcast, but this is still a breakdown, like it'd be our YouTube. So it's a nice mesh of the two.
Yes, I agree. I concur.
So
I guess let's begin in episode 1. We'll breeze through it, and then we'll just really talk about episode 2 because that's where shit hit the fan for sure.
Yeah, and I have a lot of questions for you. So yeah, definitely.
Oh, great! I'm ready to go.
Episode 1 just starts us off right back in Avengers.
Yep, right there.
It was so cool.
It was epic. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah,
and this show is just doing something so different. I know we keep saying that, like even when we were talking about, we talked about WandaVision, we talked about Falcon Winter Soldier, like, oh, they're just doing different stuff. This was like, holy crap, left field, dude. This was crazy. Yeah, no, this show is just incredible, and I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki, and Loki as a character has been someone for me that I've had this massive love-hate with, just because he is the quote-unquote villain, but towards the end of his journey, he's just this man who becomes full circle and ends up, dying for his brother, essentially,
Yeah, and it really took to this. It took to Thor Ragnarok and this episode of the show for me to actually even like Loki. Now, Tom Hiddleston does such a good job of making him so freaking annoying.
Yeah,
that it's like, it's not that I didn't like the character. I just didn't like him because, I cheer for the heroes typically.
Of course.
And he's so annoying because you want to strangle him sometimes. It's like, dude.
I know, you just want to shake him, be like, what are you doing, dude?
You're loved. You are loved.
Stop. Like, you're wrong.
Yeah. And
like, the whole Avengers, the premise, the whole him trying to take over New York was so messed up.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude? But it was cool to see that. It was cool to see that Endgame scene again, and we literally just pick up where we left off with him getting dragged to what was it?
TVA.
No, where does he get blasted to again?
Wait, where?
Once he picks up the
Tesseract,
he gets blasted to.
He was like in Mongolia.
Yeah, Mongolia.
Yeah,
randomly in there, almost mirrored the scene of Iron Man when he crash landed in the sand.
Yeah,
feel to it.
And it's interesting that because this one took me a little for my head to go over. I had to watch some YouTube on this because they make a point of you knowing that this is Loki prior to Ragnarok.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, for me, it's the same Loki, but he's different. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't experienced what he's experienced yet. It is that Loki, but we just haven't experienced, well, he hasn't experienced what he needs to experience to become his true self. You know what I mean?
He hasn't grown up yet. He hasn't had that life maturity yet.
Exactly.
So he still has that immaturity in him, and that's what's interesting when he falls. I think it was Mongolia. As soon as he falls and he gets up, he's like, "I'm here to rule you." Like, he's immediately immediately
himself. It's like, what? Do you just lost the Avengers and now you're trying to just rule these people?
Right. It's like, and I think the show does a great job of bridging that by making him see, like, he's trying to escape, and then he sees his life play back to him, and he sees his mom die, and he sees what happens to him. So, like, that was a really clever way of bridging that, so we can get back to our Loki, because now I feel like we have our Loki.
Yes, in a sense, yes and no. Yeah. And we can talk about it when we start talking about episode 2, but I still feel
you're right, because the fact that we don't have him all the way leaves the window for him to do devious things.
Exactly. But seeing the whole TVA and what they're about, because I've never heard of them before this show. What's up? Co-host Parker?
There he is. Hey, we haven't seen him forever.
I know it's been a while, but yeah, seeing the whole TVA and how it works.
Morbius.
A little suspicious about them.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that more in episode 2, but I don't trust the TVA. It's either I don't trust them, or they're so antiquated that they're almost like the Jedi. They're lost in their own way.
I think yeah, we'll get there when we get there, but I want to talk about that. I guess we can talk about it right now. Yeah, the people within it are the Jedi Council in a sense, but the chancellors or the rulers of the TVA know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, we have our 3 timekeepers who have come out of. We get this amazing. Well, we have to hit on when Loki finds out the Infinity Stones don't mean anything.
Yeah, like that was the first thing. One of the first things you said to me was like, "What a way to top the Infinity Stones by making them worthless."
Right. They're in like, a little drawer. What? They're paperweights.
Yeah, paperweights. Like what?
But the more we talked about it, and I think you had said it, it's that they do mean something within the realm of like it's time. So like it did mean something when they were fighting Thanos. Like that did happen.
Yeah, it was apparently supposed to happen.
Right, like that those stones did kill those people. They did do those things. Like Black Widow's dead. That's not happening.
Yeah.
It's just on the bigger scale of things, they're minuscule.
Yeah, or like once they enter that space or that area of the TVA, they become deactivated or something like that. Like I guess that's the thing with it.
I guess it's the Marvel didn't do the greatest job at explaining, at least to me. It wasn't as obvious, but that might be one of those you have to do your homework for.
Yep.
But what they did a great job was that cartoon explaining that there was, and I have an interesting theory, and it's a little bit not mine, but so we get the and I got really excited when I heard a little bit about it, and I put a little bit by myself, and I knew we were doing this, so I didn't bring it up today. So I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, I probably would have spoiled it.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be great when we talk, but do not bring it up. That's why I didn't even touch it, because I knew if I touched it, I would have just told you. So we get this multiverse war that they talk about, right? And then that's how we get. What if that multiverse war hasn't happened yet, and that's what's going to happen, and that's the war.
That's exactly my thought. Like this is the war we're going to see in Doctor Strange. And it technically hasn't happened for us yet, but they know it's coming and they're trying to prevent it. And that's why I think they're not good people, because I think that is supposed to happen.
You know I think going off of, and that's what kind of led me that way, because you brought it up the other day talking about how Spider-Man's going to lead to Doctor Strange. And I think Doctor Strange, almost in a similar way to Infinity War, is going to be a fail. And we're going to get straight splinters everywhere, more than we already have. I think Doctor Strange is going to fail, and it's going to lead us potentially to the Secret Wars.
Yeah,
where all of a sudden we have Earth against Earth. Because John just texted me just to make sure the dogs didn't eat you. Yes, your 10-pound dogs did not eat me. But yeah, I think in combining your theory with some of what I heard and some of this theory is that they're talking, because Morbius brought it up in episode 2 that time doesn't work the way that like Loki's used to.
Yeah.
That like what's happening at the end is happening at the beginning at the same time in the middle.
Exactly.
So that multiverse war they talked about that caused these timekeepers to be about, I think we're actually, that war hasn't happened technically yet. Yeah. Or I guess it has happened technically. They know. This is what leads me to my biggest question to you. Do you trust Morbius?
So it's Mobius.
Oh, what am I saying?
Hey, Morbius, but it's okay.
Oh my God. I'm thinking of
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that film if that ever comes out.
I've been saying that for how long we on this?
I know. Yeah, I was waiting till you were off your roll, but I think so. I guess we could just let's just jump into episode 2 because whatever. Like episode 1, you see what happens to Loki. We see the TVA and what they're about, and then we see at the end that they're looking for a variant of Loki. So there's multiple Lokis out there. Like there's probably multiples. Like if you were to literally think about it, there's multiple versions of you out there, of me, in this vast multiverse that apparently exists. But that's episode 1.
I think it's also important to note that Mobius has an obsession with Loki.
He does, but I don't think it's with Loki per se, the one like we're dealing with right now. I think he's really trying to figure out this variant, and he really wants to catch this variant because that's his job. Because I don't know, in episode 2, to me, everybody's talking about how he might be bad. He might be bad. I don't think he's bad at all. I think he is a Jedi in a sense where he is just playing his part because he feels it's right. Yeah. And that's all he knows. So he's doing his job because that's all he knows. And that's all he believes in. Yeah. Strictly.
I think it'd be too like cliche almost if he was like
too cliche, too predictable, too easy.
Yeah. I think his obsession with catching, like you said, the variant is more so keeping in ties with, because he said he was born there. So him being able to solve this biggest issue, I think what's going to happen really, and it's almost sad because Owen Wilson's been killing the role, is that he is going to get to the end of this mission and he's going to find out like everything he believed in, similar to the Jedi, meeting the Time Keepers, was all a lie. It was all fake.
Because he even states that he himself hasn't even met them.
Yeah.
No one knows who the Time Keepers are. And then we also see in episode 2 that there's information withheld from people not knowing the Time Keepers.
There's potentially even, I don't know why I'm blanking on her name.
Ravonna Slayer.
She has another agent that she talks to.
So who's that agent? That's one of my questions. Yeah. Who is that?
Some people think it's another
Ravonna Slayer. I'm pretty sure Ravonna Slayer is heavily tied to Kang the Conqueror, if I'm wrong.
It was his wife.
I believe that's her. Yeah, that's his wife.
Lover, whatever they call it.
So that's who I think the big bad is, and one of the Timekeepers even looks like him.
Yeah. I think if there was going to be a big reveal, it would be in this show.
No.
Not Loki, not WandaVision, not Falcon Winter Soldier, because I think this is the one that's going to kick off. Kevin Feige was quoted by saying this is the most important project Marvel's put out.
Yeah, totally.
I think, like you're saying, that there's definitely dark things being hid. I think there's some weird things going on. For instance, that clock thing that was testing Loki, the fact that some people don't trust Mobius within the area, or like when they go to visit the town, which was a Rock's Corpse town.
Yeah.
Which is also weird.
Yeah, Hunter B-15, that was the woman's name. Hunter B-15, that was the main one that we now find out that Lady Loki took over for a little bit and was playing with her body a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure who Lady Loki is. She doesn't like to be called Loki.
But she does say,
I believe there's like a bunch of variations of the Lady Loki character in the comics, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a lot of variations of Loki.
There's like an enchantress version of Loki, but she goes by a different name.
I think enchantress, is actually a whole nother character as a villain.
Correct.
This Lady Loki, and I agree, I don't know if she is or not, but she does say she's the better version of us.
Of Loki. So it's not like, because like, and I don't think at the end of this that Loki left because he wanted to ditch Mobius. I think they have a good relationship. I just think that because he does not want to be the lesser Loki.
Yeah.
he wants to go after her and catch her. And I
She
think
also,
because you saw in his face that he like it's like, damn, I really don't want to ditch my guy, but I have to. Like that's the vibe I got from him was like,
yeah,
I really don't want to do this, but I know I have to. So
I
that's why
agree.
I'm gonna walk through this time door.
I think he really wants to, for some reason, prove to Mobius that he's trustworthy.
Exactly.
I think he definitely
Because of what he's seen his life pan out to be, like maybe he
Yeah.
has changed for the better at
What?
this point in time in episode 2. In episode 1, I still think he was,
Yeah,
and even in the beginning episode 2, when he first was trying to, keep them all in the tent
yeah,
and
that
be
was a
shady
great
with them.
scene.
Oh my god, I love this episode from start to finish. It
Yeah,
was so good.
when
And
Mobius
what's with
is
this song?
like,
What's with this song making a massive comeback? Within the past 2 weeks, I've heard this song 3 times.
It's 3 different things. I don't know. It blew me away.
I'm like, what the hell is going on?
It was
Like, did all those commercials know that the Loki show was gonna play this song, so they wanted to jump on it first?
Guardians.
What happened, dude? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the song, it's great.
Yeah,
But what's the obsession lately with this damn song?
it's so random.
Freaking Masters of the Universe, freaking Guardians of the Galaxy video game, now the show.
I don't know. It's random. I love that this starts in a 1985 Ren Fair, though.
Great.
That was cool.
Great. So awesome. And I love when they're like, you guys are not in uniform. Why are you here?
Right.
So great. But no, this was I loved like the twists and turns of this because I really didn't because like remember I had said to you like watch out, Lady Loki's coming. I got a feeling. But I didn't think she was gonna like episode 2. I didn't think she was gonna show up. I thought we were gonna keep seeing this hooded figure until like towards the end. The fact that they introduced her so soon begs me to believe she's not the big bad.
No, I agree.
That's why I go to the TVA, I go to the Timekeepers, I go to Ravonna Slayer, I go to Kang because I think that's a great way to introduce him to the universe.
And this is only a 6-episode run. So
with a second season.
Yeah, which blows my mind. Because that means we might be in a multiverse. Each episode just might be a different Loki in season 2.
Which would be nuts.
But
no, you see like how cool was like when he was bringing up all the variant versions of Loki, how crazy they were.
That was so cool. And he's looking at Tom Hiddleston is showing why he's one of the best actors of our generation.
Dude, he is just phenomenal.
The moments of him and Owen Wilson when they're just sitting there talking and they're just bouncing off each other. I would die to be able to sit in that room and just sit there and watch these two like craft people.
Such a vibe. Such a vibe. They're great. They're so good together. But like the whole story behind this, how they figured out where she was gonna be and all that was just so great. So great. And I love the talk they had with each other. And this was the defining reason why I believe Mobius is not bad and he's just in it because he feels it's right. Is because when he was comparing his beliefs with Loki's beliefs and like the mythology, he's like, oh, like you come from frost giants and gods. Like they both sound ridiculous, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he actually says, you have as guardians gods, I have timekeepers.
Exactly.
Like he literally says, you have the same thing as I do. Like, why are mine so bad?
Yeah, what's really the difference, you know?
But in the same token, Loki didn't go through. That's an interesting point. I didn't even think of this. So that's a great point because Loki goes through the rest of his story showing that Odin was bad. He did lock up his daughter. So he did get to learn that. Mobius has not got to learn that, but because Loki hasn't actually lived that experience, he didn't have it in his memory to bring it back up. So because Mobius is literally saying, oh, they're the same thing. But if they both remember, the Asgardian gods weren't too good. They did some terrible things.
Well, and then another key takeaway from that conversation is when Loki at the end of it goes, there's only one thing I know is that all people that are all bad aren't that bad and have good in them, and people that are portrayed to be very good aren't always that good.
Yeah.
which is another reason where I'm like, okay, dude, something is up with the TVA. Something is not right. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Ravonna Slayer's a shady ass character. Like, I just don't think that they're on our side, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Something's off.
I 100% agree. We have to talk about what Lady Loki, we'll call her that for now, but she has the broken horn, so that's also something.
I think it's Sybil or something like that.
Oh,
Sylvia, something of that.
Well, there's a thing where in like the Spanish subtitles and in like I think it was Mexico or something, they actually called her Sylvia. So and that
I love when she has the worker's body and she goes, just call me Randy.
Yeah.
That was the guy.
Yeah. I love the small details of 2050 on how the sign moves and
yes, the outside, the hologram outside and everything.
Yeah, that was sick.
The 3-dimensional welcoming sign.
Yeah.
It just crashes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
like, first of all, the highest hurricane that we know of currently is an 8. So for there to be a 10.
Wait, no, it was ours is a 5. That was an 8.
Oh, 5. That was 8.
Yeah.
So it was like, holy shit.
The world climate change got a little crazier in the next 30 years.
Yeah, like the way that they're talking about the future gets me a little nervous. Like, do they know something we don't know and we should be all turned down and so blind on our shit?
Yeah, it was terrifying. And they showed like 10,000 people died. That was terrifying. It's scary. Yeah, that was scary. Put that that she drops all those
yeah, where do you think they went?
So they show it, and I'm not anywhere near. I'm not saying that we can do it, but New Rockstars did put out a video that actually went in detail about each location and actually showed what happened in each of those time zones. So good on them, because I was not volunteering to do that. Because at one point they have in the TVA, they actually do show every single location, and he looked up most of them, and they're big events in both our time and in Marvel's. Like one theory, they sent one to nowhere, or not nowhere. Yeah, nowhere, where the celestial head is, but it's potentially sent to before the head was cut.
Oh wow!
So they could have reset that whole time thing, and now there's gonna be, they sent one to Ego, so now there might be just 2 celestials coming about.
Oh my god!
Because we know the year is gonna wrap up, near to wrap up with the Eternals. So
yeah,
this could have an effect on
why.
Because the big question is, what brings the Eternals out? Celestials.
Yeah.
And I forgot a couple of other ones. There was like, I think a Reformation one. There was if you go, they have it. It's like their 3rd video post in the last. I
mean, we are massive fans of New Rockstars, and
we love them.
And we hope one day we can be on a Rogue Theory show with
I was just watching that before this.
I know, we would love to be on Rogue Theory. So Eric Ross, if you're watching this at any point ever, get us on Rogue Theory, please.
We should. Speaking of which, I'm going to mention one I just watched. One of them thought that potentially, because Roxxon keeps getting brought up more and more and more. Yeah. And this was Rock Corps, who literally just had a town with the supermarket, that maybe they make an appearance as the bad of this series. That maybe she's working for. This was a little like, I don't want to say lower, but it didn't seem like it's what they would do. But
it's like a little far-fetched, and doesn't seem like that big of a bad to me, which I feel like this show
it's too big.
Needs a massive bad, like near Thanos level bad, where it's gonna, like Kevin Feige said, affect the rest, like the universe for the future and where they're headed.
I agree.
I think it's got to be someone bigger, like Kang. That's where I'm at. I'm at Kang right now. I'm 100% expecting to see his reveal. Episode 6. That's what I expect.
Well, what do you think is going to happen? Episode 3. I have no idea.
I feel like we're going to be following. Like, I think we're going to go. We'll probably flash back and forth. You know how like episode 3 of Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith went between Obi-Wan's story and Anakin's story. I think we'll follow Loki, we'll follow Mobius, we'll see what's going on, and then I don't know. I really don't know.
I have zero theories. I really don't.
But like, I was happy because I kind of, especially after WandaVision, like a lot of us went in with such high expectations. I went into the show with zero. I'm like, I don't want to expect anything. And even doing this right now, I really don't want to make assumptions and get my hopes up for something that may or may not happen. But I guess I keep want to just go blindly dive into this. It's just so much more enjoyable that way. Yeah. I love being shocked by the end of it because each episode has been amazing.
Yeah, the whole show, the costume design, those shots. I as being, you know, a film person, the shots in this were so next level. Yeah, there's a sequence where him and Mobius are talking, and he gives them the knives, and they literally walked into the locker. He opens it up, gives them, but at the same time, you can actually see when I forget her name again, the guard comes over,
Hunter B-15,
and takes it out of his hand. You know how perfectly timed that had to be?
So perfectly timed.
It blew my mind. And then then it continued. Yep. I was blown. My jaw was dropped. I actually replayed that scene because I was like, no, man, was that a one shot? I had to rewatch it. I was like, how the hell did they do that?
Yeah, it's incredible, man.
Because they were so far away, they couldn't hear. So like they just had to like trust each other. Everything they've done in the show, the graphics, everything. The show is amazing. I'm like you said, I'm so happy this show is this good because I had no expectations.
For sure.
But I do think that it's going to be one of those like lesson episodes maybe where she's like, "Oh, you think the TVA is this?" Or I mean, I don't think he thinks anything of the TVA.
Yeah. Do you think they eventually team up, or do you think they aim to end each other?
I don't know. I mean, I think he's supposed to be in Thor. I think so. I think I heard a rumor that Loki might be in Thor because Loki, his story is not over. But as we know, Marvel is gearing to move on from their current lineup and moving forward with a new lineup. I mean, I'm cool with a Lady Loki. I think that's sick. Yeah. I mean, Tom Hiddleston's given 12 years of his life. How much how much more can you really expect, someone to give? I don't want to. I know I don't want to think of it in those terms, like so black and white, But I mean, I do think that this is his, like, in the same way Black Widow is Scarlett Johansson's bowing out. I do see this as nearing his end of it. So I think it might start with him hunting her down, and then it becoming some sort of, some sort of Loki agreement.
Yeah.
And then we get her, because I do think we need to see some sort of resolution between him and Thor. Like, we didn't get that. He got killed, Thor got mad, and then Asgard's gone. So we need that was one of the theories. Now I'm going back now, but Roxxon buys and
New Asgard, right?
Yeah, New Asgard, and makes it like an attraction or something, which we're seeing photos of, that they have rides there. Wow. So maybe we hear something and it goes that way. Sure. And he might set his sails going there. I don't know. Everything's so huge right now because we know the multiverse is coming. It's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Don't know, but like, we trust in Marvel as we do.
Yeah.
And we know they're gonna get it right. So
it's true.
We're just here for the ride.
I can't wait. I do hope we get more locations, like cool locations.
Yeah, it was really cool to see Pompeii. Like, that was epic, dude. It was so epic.
Speaking in Latin, that was hilarious.
Yeah. Be free, my fellow warned friend.
Yes.
It's so great.
I was dying when I saw that, and then going into the future was really cool. So I hope we get more of that. I love that.
Yeah, as do I.
Yes. I like when he goes, you didn't have candy where you grew up? No, we had grapes and nuts. He's like,
I wonder why you're so bitter. Oh man.
They have a lot of great lines.
This was a good time.
Yeah, this is cool.
We're gonna start pumping these out weekly to you guys. So now next week we'll focus on episode 3 strictly, and we'll just keep running through this series with you. And be on the lookout for our other YouTube videos, our podcast episodes. We've honestly been crushing it. We're getting Pokemon card openings now, which is pretty cool. I can't wait to open my ETB. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I can't wait. That's happening this week.
I mean, you had some pretty good pulls, so maybe we get lucky and I can get that Moltres I'm praying for. So we'll see.
That'd be sick. Chilling Reign so far, pretty cool.
Yeah, they have a lot of good art. I knew that from the start. I'm like, gotta get this set. It's such a cool looking set.
Yes, when Pokemon wants to, they make really cool cards.
Absolutely.
And then Twitch, you're up with Twitch. We got it running in the office
Twitch
today.
Going. Maybe you guys can comment below. Let me know what games you'd like to see me play, because I got to get my laptop up to speed. But once I get that figured out, I'll be able to bring some quality content to the table. Excited for that.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
you are my favorite person to watch Twitch next to Rob.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, nerds. Thanks for watching this series, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Hey,
peace.